Hi friends, welcome to Law Chat with Girija. This is your legal BFF, Girija Patel. Thank you for tuning in. I am so grateful for every single one of you for tuning in and listening, because this is what Law Chat is about. It's a place for you to be inspired, a place for you to gain some more wisdom and knowledge about your industry, but a place also where you can receive mentorship through storytelling. Thank you so much. Now, I know that before we walk into this next episode, whether you're tuning in through your iTunes or through other form of a podcast, or whether this is on YouTube, I would love for you to share this information with someone else, somebody who is your friend, your family, a colleague, somebody in your community, someone who can really be inspired by this as well and benefit from the information and from the stories that we're sharing with you today. Law Chat is to help the community, is to boost the community, is to inspire the community. And I want you to help me to do that. So thank you so much for that. Let's get started. Hi friends, welcome to Law Chat. This is Girija, your legal BFF. I am so happy to be with you here today. On today's episode, I'm actually going to be sharing with you my schedule hacks. How do I get things done? How do I manage and organize my life? Because quite frankly, I'm wearing a lot of hats, and I'm sure you are too. I am a mom, I'm a business owner of multiple businesses. I just started something new as well. I have a podcast, and I'm managing the house also and the kids' schedules as well. So here are some of my tricks. It's everything that I have learned from coaches, from going to masterminds, from talking to other business owners, but then also just really leaning into my family and my support system as well. So join me today as I share with you some of my hacks and secrets on how to stay organized. So I get this question a lot, and I'm sure some of you also might get this question, is how do you do it all? This is actually a very common question because, like you, I'm also not just sitting here creating podcast episodes for my podcast channel or for my YouTube. I'm actually doing so many more things behind the scene. I have a law practice. I have an online business system that I have. I also have this podcast. I'm also a mom and doing mom duties, including being part of the PTO board and also part of other organizations around town. And I just started a whole new program that is not legally related at all, but all about entrepreneurship and children. And so there's a lot going on my table and in my life, but I have basically managed to figure out a system that works for me. Now, not all the time is this something that is working. It's always something that is going to be evolving as things evolve in life and as the seasons change in your life also. So flexibility is key. Being fluid is key also, and having tenacity is key as well. If you get too militant about your schedule, life can become really tough. So one of the best things that I have learned from my coach, Lonnie Jackson, is that zoom out and look at the things that you are doing in life. What are the things that are serving you and serving the purpose that you want to live intentionally? And what are the things that are just not adding to that? And just zoom out and think about that. And then when you're looking at your schedule for the week or for the month, think about how many hours do you want to be working on specific parts of your life. So for example, in my business, how many hours do I want to be working as a lawyer, like real lawyer tasks, right? Working in my business, working on my client work. How many hours do I need to dedicate in a week in order to make sure I am working for my clients, getting the work done, and also moving that needle for my business and for my clients? And then alongside that, for your contract buddy, how many hours a week or a month do I need to be working on this business in order for the needle to move forward? And then also for other meetings that I have that are maybe not related to business, but are related to other things that I've involved myself in, how many hours a week am I dedicating to that? And how many do I want to dedicate to that? So these are all things that you need to think about. It takes like maybe 2 hours to sit down and really think about this stuff, but it's really so liberating when you figure this out. You figure out how many hours you're actually wanting to put into certain tasks or certain projects or certain aspects of your life. And then you look at your calendar and you're saying, okay, got this. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What are the days that I'm working on certain projects? So it's project A, or maybe it's your business A. these are the days I'm working on business A. These are the days I'm doing B. These are the days I'm doing C. And how many hours are you putting into that? And it's important to know how many hours we're putting in so that we can take an inventory of our hours and an audit of our time as well. It's really helpful because sometimes we think we're doing all this stuff, but in reality, we're actually wasting more time than being productive. Now, I'm not saying that every single hour of your day needs to be filled with a task. In fact, some of the hours need to be intentionally placed as rest or as self-time, like, where I'm indulging in myself, whether it's a massage or for a walk, or whether it is just chilling out and watching Netflix, just whatever. But during the day, or if you want to schedule throughout the day into the evening time, how is that day looking for you? And include rest time. Include time also where it requires you to drive from point A to point B, so you're not crunching all of your schedule in such a way where it's stressful. Because at the end of the day, if you set up a schedule that becomes stressful and unachievable, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for disappointment, and you're setting yourself up for a lot of unnecessary and avoidable guilt. So don't do that. Zoom out, look at the big picture, get yourself some calendars. I have Catch Moira's calendars back here. They're actually on my wall. This is the bigger version. I have some smaller versions on my wall over here. This is a great way to actually zoom out and see the bigger picture, because the bigger picture allows you to also see the projects and the goals that you have, but also how are you working and progressing towards those goals. Number 2 tool that I use is my calendar. I cannot survive without it now. And there was a time when I didn't even use the calendar. I didn't even want to look at it. I didn't want to put anything into it. Now it's like, if it's not in there, it's absolutely never happening, because I forget. And I think it's very normal when you're doing so many things to forget. And so it's okay, but it's also okay to organize that schedule of yours into something that can give you reminders, into something that can also help you see the bigger picture as you're moving towards, and also the minute details, because my weekly schedule is very, very packed. And so I want to make sure that I have time to rest also, because my body needs it, my mind needs it. And then I show up better when I get that rest. And it's okay to give yourself that. It took me a while to figure out that it's okay to give myself rest. And if I want to wake up in the morning and not necessarily indulge in my everyday routines that I do have, it's okay too. And just listening to the body and tuning into it can be really helpful as well. So when we're zooming out, look at how many hours you want to work on different projects, and then how are you going to be placing those projects throughout the week or throughout the month. So for example, my client work is a weekly thing that I'm doing. My client meetings are a weekly thing that I'm doing. Recording these is a weekly thing that I'm doing, that every Wednesday is my recording day. I record episodes, I record also Law Chats and Law Chat 101. So this is what I'm doing on Wednesdays. I might have a client meeting on a Wednesday, or might have another meeting that is work related, or mastermind meetings. And you have those standing meetings throughout the week. And so you can just kind of plug them in and also see, are they necessary? Are you necessary to be present in that meeting? Not always are you necessary, and it's okay to step away and say, you know what, give me a recap team. I'll get that recap from you because I don't need to be here. You got it under control. And so when you're looking at the bigger picture, you're allowing yourself the ability to put in what you need to put in, and then also the grace to step out and step away and take that time and put into something else that requires your time and your attention at that point. And some great ways to look at that is, again, from Lonnie, is what are you doing now, what are you doing later, and what are you doing never? These are 3 little buckets that you can have, and easily to plop it in and see what you want. Another tool that I use is Trello. Trello is amazing to organize your teams, amazing to organize your list and your to-dos and your projects. I just love Trello. I love the drag drop and all of those features that it has. It's easy to use and it's free. You don't have to pay for it, which is the most fantastic part of Trello. And so use it. Use schedulers out there too. If you're looking to try and do social media and you don't want to outsource it yet, batch that work. So put it into your calendar, like once a month, I'm going to be working on social media and getting it all done, batching that work out. So dedicate that one day to that. So for me, I batch my stuff for Your Contract Buddy. I'll batch that up because I don't want to work on that on a weekly basis, but I don't mind working on that on a monthly basis, maybe once or twice a month, and taking that time away from something else and putting it into Your Contract Buddy. And so looking at it from the zoomed out month is really important, but then you can zoom back into the week and see how are you breaking that week down, because there's certain things that we do weekly, they're happening every single week, and you can't escape it. And so when you put it into your schedule and you see it, it's amazing. Get yourself a really good journal also, or a planner. I love planners. I like written planners. That is just my jam. I love putting the stickers and I love using my highlights. It just adds so much more joy to my life. And so I do that. If you're not a writing planner and you're a digital planner, use that. But use a planner. It's helpful. Even if it's just quickly jotting down 5 things that you want to do during the week. This is how I'm going to be, projecting my week and making the needle move on the bigger picture of life. Do that. Simplify it as much as you can and make it achievable, and make it something where it's also, there's a time frame and bite-sized pieces that are adding to the bigger picture of your life.
I hate to interrupt this awesome conversation, but I have to stop and talk with you about the number one thing I'm asked about by entrepreneurs: contracts. They're vital to any business relationship and to protect your business. But I also know that entrepreneurs, especially when you're starting up, money is tight. But I would never want you to compromise on a strong legal foundation. So enter yourcontractbuddy.com, a website created by me with contract templates created and drafted by me and fellow industry partners. They're ready to use and easy to plug in immediately. And they are not restricted to any specific state. So yourcontractbuddy.com is sponsoring this episode, and you and your listener can get 10% off right now with code LAWCHAT. Yes, you heard me right. 10% off right now with code LAWCHAT. And now, back to our awesome conversation.
I'll tell you something, and this is hard for a lot of people as starting this, if you haven't already done it, or organizing it a better way. There's no right or wrong way to do it for yourself. You just have to figure out what's your perfect rhythm for you. What your rhythm is may not be my rhythm. And these are certain tips that I have actually aggregated from not just my coach, but from other mastermind groups that I'm in and from other peers in the industry. And so it's really important to surround yourself with people who are doing better than you, so that you can figure out how they do it, and so you can also align yourself and do good too and do better in your business. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to surround yourself with excellence, and so you can achieve that excellence as well. And I also, when I first started, I didn't do all these things. I used to do it a lot in law school and stuff, and then when I took that break in life, I stopped doing all that because I just didn't need to, I thought. But really, it's actually important to kind of, even if you are working on, just maybe in your mind, you're like, oh, well, I'm not doing that much, I don't need to do it. Or maybe you're just not a planner per se. But if you are wanting to integrate your business and your life and your profession, your personal all together, you need to have some type of planning, whether it's bare minimum or whether it is super detailed. And with that planning, what happens is that there's clarity in your mind, and there's also less confusion on where the tasks are and where you need to be moving in the direction that you need to be going in. And so it is a trial and error. There's no right or wrong answer, but most definitely zooming out and seeing the bigger picture, and then seeing how much time you want to put into the different projects that you have or the different aspects of your business, and then how you're breaking it up throughout the week, in the month, worked like a charm for me. And so I've continued that practice, and it really helps me, especially during the busy seasons, because today I'm in a busy season and I cannot be more grateful for it. I really started implementing this last year. I have been using planners, I have been doing all this, but really zoning in and looking and breaking my week down into how many hours I want to work on certain things, and giving myself some rest time and just really following it. It takes 21 days to make a habit. So follow it, be dedicated to it, be committed to it. And I promise you, you will feel better at the end of the day. So if you do this, DM me, and I'd love to hear your feedback. Again, subscribe if you want to get more of the latest and the greatest coming out of Law Chat, and share with your other friends, because this is super beneficial to you and to everybody else. Because honestly, I can do this stuff because my community is there helping me. My family is there supporting me. And again, one thing I didn't mention earlier is that don't be afraid to outsource. Outsource the things you don't want to do, because those are the things that others can get the work done for you, and you can still be present in the way you want to be present. So if that that means outsourcing someone to come in and help manage your home or clean your home, do that. It's worth it. If it's outsourcing and having, your family helping to pick up your children or to help you throughout the day, even to do groceries or something, whatever, outsource it if it's something that you're okay to do, because at the end of the day, I love cooking for my family. So that's one thing that I want to do. I want to create those memories and I enjoy it for my family. But there's other things I just don't want to do and I don't want to spend my time doing it. So I outsource that work. And so there's no shame in that game. Don't let anyone make you feel bad about it, because as a busy woman, a busy mom, as a busy entrepreneur, and all the other hats that you're wearing, you have to do what works best for you. And so I encourage you to take those bold steps that you might be holding yourself back on, that is adding ease to your life and adding value to your life, so that you can show up as your best version every single time. So cheers to you and good luck, and definitely message me, DM me, and I will catch you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Law Chat. I hope this was super beneficial to you. I really enjoyed sharing this information with you today. And I have to ask you for a favor. Like I did in the beginning, I'm going to ask you again. Please share this with your community, whether it's a friend, family, or another colleague, or someone else on your Facebook or Instagram or other social media spot. Share this, subscribe, and stay tuned for other episodes coming in so you are always up to date. But then also take another moment and share this episode with your community, because when you share it with everybody else, not only are they benefiting, but also the information that I'm sharing is reaching out to more people, because at the end of the day, we want to rise together with our community, and I can only do that with your help. Now, I am so grateful for you. I'm so grateful that you tuned in, and I want to hear from you as well. So shoot me a DM on Instagram at GBP Law or at Law Chat with Girija. I would love to hear from you. I would love to also hear what other episodes that you would like to hear about, topics that you want to hear about, and also just connect with you. And thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, cheers.